Hey, hello, my fellow angels. Welcome back to another episode of Queen Bina Combos. Today, I want to talk about the Clarissa Papoose and Remy Ma situation, and I want to break it down from a spiritual perspective. These are just my opinions. I do not know these people, and this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take none of this serious. So, from a spiritual perspective, PAP really is just a shell that unclean spirits and demonic entities use at will, and women are its battery. I'm almost certain that the years that Remy Ma served behind bars were a karma switch between Remy and whatever entity that was utilizing PAP so that it could continue to use PAP's vessel as it pleased, while it continued to drain Remy from behind those bars because it is well aware that women, particularly women like Remy Ma, are energetically infinite and can still create even under the worst circumstances. Now, if you're thinking, well, Remy is the one that pew-pewed that girl and that's how she ended up in prison, then that just means that you're not really that spiritually aware. While, yes, we are all responsible for our own actions, sometimes when you are under demonic influence, when people are throwing certain rituals and hoobly jubilee bippity boppity boo stuff at you, sometimes you really are not controlling your vessel as much as you can, if that makes sense. You really have to be spiritually aware to understand it. People can, go into the spiritual realm. They can pay other people to, switch energies with folks and all of that stuff, and make people angrier than usual, make people not be able to control their impulses as easily as they normally would. And that's how it happens. At the end of the day, the outcome needs to be the other person goes to jail so that the person that doesn't want to go, or, if the entity that's operating that person doesn't want them to go, then that's how that happens. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, I apologize. Do your own research, okay? Despite how it happened, all in all, it was a karma transfer or an energy switch. So that way, Papoose can continue to stay free, and that entity could continue to use Papoose's vessel and Remy Ma's resource to do whatever it wanted to do on the outside. Now, what's so mind boggling about this is I bet the karma that the entity knew that it was having to pay was the fact that it was energetically compromising Remy Ma. It knew that it was time to pay up for energetically compromising her, and it wasn't done with whatever it was doing. I'm sure Papoose's vessel is extremely strong and useful to that entity. So it wasn't done. And so it figured instead of paying the piper or having Papoose to pay the piper, he might as well just go ahead on and switch that karma onto Remy, the person that he was energetically compromising, so that it could continue to do what it wanted to do. It could keep the cycle going. And that is so sad. This is why it is so important for women to wake up. Fast forward, luckily, the Most High must have sprinkled some, good energy onto the earth, and the earth's vibration sped up and it jolted Remy awake. She finally woke up to her own power and decided to unplug from the ungrateful, unreciprocal entity that was operating PAP. So it had to quickly move on, as that entity knew that it could only survive but so long on the energy supply that it was siphoning from the 5 replacement just in case backup women that it had acquired while it was trying to figure out a way to put Remy Ma back to sleep. Side note, you her when the accumulated energy of 5 other women still can't hold a candle to the energy of you. Okay, so hopefully y'all are still with me. If you know anything about the spiritual realm, then you know it operates from contracts, covenants, and consent. When Remy woke up and removed that plug out of her socket, she withdrew her consent. which 9 times out of 10 was given under deception in the first place. So the withdrawal of that consent broke down the contract between Remy Ma and the entity that is currently operating PAP, but it does not break down the covenant between Reminisce, Willie, and the Most High. Hence why that divorce has not happened yet. You see, this is where the importance of names comes up in the spiritual realm and why you have to be careful when you're using them. It can create hella confusion. And since the Most High is not the author of confusion, it's giving the underworld has put more than a few points on the board when it comes to this particular game of love and war. And where there is war, there's always casualties. Enter Miss Shields, and that's Miss MISS. So I'm not here to tear Claressa down or up. The world is doing that enough. So I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try my best to stick to the spiritual perspective of the role she is playing in the breaking down of the covenant. You see, while everybody else sees Claressa as a home wrecking whore with a Jezebel spirit, which is partially true, quiet is kept, or loud is given, since everybody is doing her. I'm talking about all the blogs, all the podcasts, they are doing her in. But her behavior makes it hard for even a soft hearted person like me to feel sorry for her. From a high vibrational spiritual perspective, she is a vessel that is snoozing. And every contract she signs to maintain her $8 million empire, as she loves to continuously throw out there, y'all, please don't rob that girl. Anyways, is actually just a contract for the underworld to continue to use her vessel as it sees fit. And unfortunately, whatever spirit, be that the spirit of Jezebel, the spirit of pride, the spirit of jealousy, the spirit of covetousness, whatever spirit that is using her, or it could be all of them. You know, what do it say? My name is Legion and we are many. It could be a mixture of all of those spirits. So with that revelation, the legion that is currently utilizing her vessel has thrown it in the ultimate line of fire. You see, it's one thing to utilize deception to gain consent. It's another thing to dangle fake ass money to acquire contracts. But to go up against a covenant between two people with genuine love for each other that solidified that love with the Most High, who is love, now you playing with fire. And when you play with fire, you get incinerated. So to bring it all together where Claressa is concerned, she has signed contracts that she thought were to fight and whatever else she be signing the contracts for. But in all actuality, the contracts are to utilize her vessel for whatever the underworld sees fit. This is why it is said not to envy rich men or women. You can put or women in there for those that have a hard time understanding. Do not envy rich people, for you do not know what they have done for that money. 9 times out of 10, they don't even know what they have done for that money. So, from a spiritual perspective, which is really the important perspective, Claressa sold the use of her vessel, the use of her body, for $8 million. And an illusion of love, an illusion of a reciprocal relationship that will one day elevate to marriage and children. In other words, she sold it to fight, so she thought, which is not a fruit of the spirit. The fruit of the Spirit is peace, among other things, but it dang sure ain't fighting. And to break down a covenant of the Most High. So she is fighting other black women physically and spiritually. In other words, y'all, she is fighting God. She is fighting the Most High, and she was paid $8 million to do it. So this is why I say I'm not here to tear her up or down. The world has done that enough, because not only is she asleep, not only is she spiritually unaware, not only does her elevator not go all the way up to the top, she's fighting a losing battle. So when I see her and the behavior that she is exhibiting, I know that behavior comes from that legion of demons that is operating her vessel. And in all actuality, Claressa is just a scared little girl inside of that body, looking at all of these demons, trying to figure out what in the world is going on. Hopefully, she gets deliverance. Hopefully, she wakes up. Hopefully, she realizes all of this. Um, I'm not like I say, that behavior do make it hard for even a soft-hearted person like me to feel sorry for her. But hopefully, the Most High will sprinkle some more good energy onto the earth, and the vibration will raise even more, and she will jolt awake. But from the looks of things, the underworld used a fake large amount of money to swallow her right on up. $8 million so that these spirits can utilize your body to go and fight a battle that has already been lost. How sad is that? Again, let me state that this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not take any of it serious. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't see it right now. I don't see it turning out to be good for her. So I'm not going to continue to speak on the situation where she is concerned. It's giving she will eventually end up being a casualty in this entire situation. So if you haven't caught on by now, this is a war on love. The Most High is love. The covenant is the spiritual manifestation of the love between Reminisce and Willie, not Remy Ma and Pap. That contract has already been severed. The next step would be to break down the covenant between Reminisce, Willie, and the Most High. So think of it like those last 3 games between the Spurs and the Knicks. Love had the lead for the longest time, and when things got to the end, somehow, some way, the underworld came back and tied up the game. Well, let me not say somehow, some way, as I have been stating the entire think piece or podcast, whatever you want to call this video. As a matter of fact, it's entertainment. Let me say that. Like I have been saying the whole time of this entertainment piece, it's the entities that were in the background. I guess you can say them entities were on the bench in the beginning, and when it was time to come out, they came out and they started slam dunking. When they started slam dunking, Reminisce did her part. She woke up, she disconnected, and she called judgment. Therefore, she gets to ascend. Now it would be time for the man to do his part, which is quite simple. Wake up. Disconnect from the high-ranking demonic entity that is operating him, aka face his demons, choke they ass out, and send them back to the abyss that they came from with the dominion that is his birthright. And then withdraw the consent from the high ranking demonic legion that's operating the woman that was sent to distract him. And then once he does his part, which is oh so simple, he will be able to ascend, rejoin his wife, and continue the covenant that brings everlasting life and blessings for the both of them. Because don't get it twisted. As I stated at the beginning of this entertainment piece, Remy Ma can create and manifest on her own as she carries the universe that he will have to plug into in order to manifest as well. Yes, that means they cannot manifest without us. That's why they so mad. That's where the patriarchy came from, honey. That's the jealousy that's we carry the universe. We create and manifest on our own. They cannot. Just in case y'all were wondering where the jealousy comes from. There you have it. Ladies, if you have made it this far in the video, I really do hope that you are not thinking that we don't need no men because we can manifest on our own. Girl, no. It is easier to manifest with a good man. I'm not trying to say, we can manifest and create on our own, but it is easier to manifest with a man. So hopefully, I get the whole break down the patriarchy thing, decenter men type thing. Absolutely. When the goddess withdraws her energy, the god falls. In other words, he descends into the hell realm. We have enough demons and devils running around here. We do not need any more. So I get it. Dismantle the patriarchy. Absolutely. I believe that is the matrix. That is the hell realm. Decenter men. Absolutely. Withdraw our energy. But damn, are y'all trying to eliminate them for good? My God. Have you seen a peen and how beautiful it is? Why would you want to get rid of them? Who gonna change the tires? Who gonna fix the sink? The tub is overflowing. The toilet is what's wrong with y'all? Who gonna work? Who gonna bring in the money? I don't know. I'm just playing, y'all. And I know y'all probably wanted to hear all of the, Claressa is copying everything that Remy Ma does. Ain't that people covet celebrity? They covet stars, actual stars. She's doing that. And plus, all of the energy that Pap took from Remy Ma and is trying to hold on to and hold hostage, he is transferring over to her. So she may not even be doing it on purpose. It's definitely giving whatever entity that she is, it's operating her is siphoning that energy through him. I would definitely recommend that Remy get a cord cutting and would continue to cord cut, not to cut from her husband, but to cut off that connection between Claressa. And if it so happens to cut off the connection to Pap, then hey, I mean, he need to wake up. So if he ends up being a casualty with the casualty that is distracting him, then it is what it is. But I would definitely recommend that Remy Ma cord cut daily, weekly, at least weekly, because daily, that might, your energy might, you ain't gonna have no energy left to do no work. You're gonna have to regenerate complete. Weekly, until you see that she can no longer copy your essence. I would definitely say to cord cut. Go ahead on and cut the connection. But yeah, this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take any of this serious. Thank you so much if you made it this far in the video, and I will catch y'all in the next one. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.